Why do you have your dad's nose but your mom's smile? And why do cats from the same litter look so different? Stay with me, because in a few minutes, heredity will finally make total sense to you. In this video, you'll get a simple, crystal-clear explanation of heredity, what traits are, how parents pass them on, and why brothers and sisters can be similar, but never exactly the same. Imagine a garden full of cartoon peas. Some are round, some are wrinkled. That difference in shape is a trait. A trait is just any noticeable feature, like eye color, fur pattern, or even how tall a plant grows. Heredity is the way traits travel from parents to their offspring. Think of it like a recipe being copied, with tiny changes sometimes added. The recipes are stored inside every living cell of every living thing. Those recipes are written on long molecules called genes. But to keep this super simple, we'll just call them trait codes. Each parent sends trait codes to their baby, which mix together to shape how the baby will look and work. Let's go back to our peas. Imagine one parent plant mostly sends trait codes for round peas, and the other sends codes for wrinkled peas. The baby plant receives a mix, and which codes are stronger will decide the final pea shape. Some traits are dominant. They show up even if only one parent provides that code. Others are recessive. They only appear if both parents send the same recessive code. Dominant traits are like louder voices in a group. Picture two parent cats. One has cartoon black fur, one has cartoon orange fur like our main cat. Their kittens may inherit orange, black, or a mixture pattern, depending on which fur trait codes they receive. To really see how this works, imagine each parent has two cards for a trait. They pass only one card to each baby. The baby ends up with two cards again, one from each parent, forming its combination for that trait. For example, one pea parent might have two dominant cards for round peas. The other parent might have two recessive cards for wrinkled peas. Every baby gets one dominant and one recessive card. Result, all peas look round. Now, if both parents each carry one dominant and one recessive card, things get interesting. Babies can get different combinations, two dominant, one of each, or two recessive. That means a mix of round and wrinkled peas appears. That's why brothers and sisters can look different, even with the same parents. Each child receives a random mix of trait cards. It's like shuffling a deck every time a new life begins, with new combinations dealt out. You might ask, so why do some traits seem to run strongly in my family? When many relatives share certain dominant trait cards, those traits pop up again and again like a favorite song on repeat. Other traits are much rarer because they depend on two recessive cards meeting in the same person. That's like two quiet voices finally singing the same note together, making a sound you normally don't hear. Not all traits are just this or that. Many are controlled by several sets of trait cards working together. Height, for example, is shaped by many genes plus environment, so results spread across a whole range, not just tall or short. Environment matters too. Even if your cards say tall, poor nutrition can limit your growth. Think of genes as the blueprint, and the environment as the tools and materials that decide how fully the blueprint is built. Let's connect this to something you know, eye color. Many genes contribute, but to simplify, imagine a dominant card for darker eyes and a recessive one for lighter eyes. The mix you inherit creates your final cartoon eye shade. Why don't children look exactly like their parents? Because they get half their trait cards from each parent, and the combination is unique almost every time. It's like mixing two paint colors in slightly different amounts each time. Also, new small changes called mutations can appear in trait codes. Most are tiny and harmless. Some change a trait. Mutations are like random spelling changes in the recipe, sometimes making a new flavor. Over long periods, heredity plus mutation plus selection shape entire species. The traits that help survival tend to spread. This is evolution. Small hereditary changes adding up across countless generations. So what about you? Your hair texture, nose shape, even how your tongue can bend, all come from mixes of trait cards passed through your family for generations, stacked together in your cells like a huge library. When scientists study heredity, they aren't judging people. They're looking at patterns, trying to understand how life's instructions are organized and copied, to help with health, agriculture, and biodiversity. Back to our starting question. You have your dad's nose and your mom's smile because specific trait cards for nose shape and mouth shape combined in you. In your siblings, the combo came out slightly differently. The amazing part is that this copying and mixing of trait codes happens automatically in cells, over and over, with an accuracy that would put any human printer to shame, yet still leaves room for diversity. Heredity is why a plant seed grows into the same kind of plant, and why a puppy grows into a dog, never a cat. The trait codes define a species' basic plan, then add variations to make each individual unique. Knowing this helps doctors predict inherited diseases, and farmers breed better crops. By reading trait patterns, they can guess which combinations might give strong, healthy plants or help prevent certain health problems. Now that heredity feels less mysterious, notice traits around you: plant leaf shapes, pet fur colors, even how easily friends get sunburned. All are reflections of tiny, invisible trait codes passed down through time. Stay to the very end, because your challenge is coming. You'll use what you learned to decode a tiny trait mystery and see if you can predict an offspring's traits just from the parents' cards. Here's your quick challenge. If one parent has 2 dark eye cards and the other has 2 light eye cards, what eye trait do you expect in the baby? Pause, think, and then share your answer in the comments to test your new heredity skills.